when we finished Mabo, which was pretty traumatic because I had a 24-hour police guard on for a while. So group was threatening to assassinate me and the family.
Because the farmers came out in support of Aboriginal land rights.
That's right, we did. And Keating came to me, he said, Graham, he said, if you blokes don't support me, he said, I can't get this through. My people will not support me unless you do. And anyway, when we started our campaign on Mabo, we raised it at the council meeting and said that we had to go through this, and wanted everyone to go away and think about it, and we'll send out some information for you to consider and whatever. When that meeting was over, I said to Rick Farley, I said, well, how do you think we went? And he said, how many votes do you reckon we got? He said, we got one. One vote I had out of the council when we started. So I went round Australia, and Rick and I split up and went all around the place. And when we came to the final vote on whether we supported Mabo or not, we had 100% vote.
Amazing.
Even the Western Australians who were absolutely, they said we will die before we give in to this. And even then we had 100% vote. And I went to Keating, and it was interesting. It was decided one night, I was in my mother's kitchen at 11:30 at night, and he rang me. Rick had been sorting out a few little things. Rang me. Said, okay, Graham, we've sorted all these things out. We've done this and this and this. That tidies all these things up, whatever they were. And I said, okay, good, all right. He said, I want your final decision. I said, all right. How long have I got? He said, 30 minutes. My mother said, this was, about 11:30. And my mother sitting there, she said, who was that? I said, it was the Prime Minister. She said, goodness me, can't he ring up in the normal times of the day to ring you? And I said, well, Mum, this is pretty important. I said, this is a decision whether we are going to recognise land rights in Australia and put some equity back into the game. And she said, and who's going to make that final decision? I said, I am. Well, she said, that's a lot of responsibility for you to have. I said, well, Mum, that's what I do. So when I say it was my decision, I mean, as the president it was my decision, but I mean, over a team of people working on it, of course, it wasn't just me. Anyway, Keating rang back and I said, well, Paul, go for it. You have my absolute support. And so you and Rick work out a press statement that'll come along after you make your statement tomorrow. And you can say that you have as president of the NFF, my 100% support. That's how it came out. And at my farewell dinner in Canberra when I left the year afterwards, the Aborigines took a full table at the meeting. Never been done before, never been done since. They came along to pay respect to me and of course to Rick Farley and to the NFF generally. But Lois O'Donoghue said to me at that dinner, I said, well, it's great to see you, Lois. And she said, well, Graham, we had to come along and pay respect to your fairness and consistency. But there was all sorts of politics behind it. I mean, Hewson was the opposition leader. He said, we're just going to vote against this. He said, we'll take the people with us. I said, you got no hope. Why haven't you got any hope? Because I said, we don't support you, for you. So you're going to have to beat us first. And I said, and you can't. And he said, why can't you? I said, all Keating's got to do is stand up and say, we believe there should be some fairness and equity in this. Now, what are you going to say against that? He's got a 15-second grab that everyone understands. Now, you've been sitting here talking to me for half an hour. You haven't got half an hour. I said, you cannot win it. Well, anyway, and I said, well, look, John, I just stopped talking. He said, well, who are you going to go and talk to? I said, I'm going to go and talk to the government. And I did.